In the heart of the Igodo kingdom, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, lived a young man named Okoye. Handsome, strong, and determined, Okoye had one goal in mind: marrying the beautiful Ugosimba, a maiden from the mystical village of Umuodum. But this was no ordinary union. Ugosimba's people, known for their powerful mystical abilities, were viewed with suspicion and fear by the neighboring villagers. While some used their gifts for good, many used them for darker purposes, and as a result, the villagers of Igodo had long kept their distance from Umuodum. When Okoye approached Ugosimba's parents with his intentions, they hesitated. Their village's secrets and powers had long made them wary of outsiders, but Okoye's determination was unshakable. "I will marry Ugosimba no matter the cost," he vowed, his resolve unbreakable. Seeing the strength in his eyes, the elders relented, though they could not predict the storm that would follow. The wedding was a grand affair, full of music, dancing, and celebration. Okoye and Ugosimba's union brought joy to their families, and for a while the land knew peace. However, that peace was short-lived. Trouble brewed on the horizon. The people of Igodo village, mighty warriors with iron hearts, began to stake their claim on a large parcel of land that bordered Igodo. It was land that had belonged to Igodo for generations, and the Igodo king, along with his council of elders, feared what would happen if they allowed Igodo to seize it. The warriors of Igodo were fierce, and their reputation for bloodshed was well known. Yet the king and his council swore they would fight for their land no matter the odds. As rumors of the impending conflict spread, Okoye found himself in deep conversation with his brother Okanta. They sat beneath the shade of a mighty tree, discussing the best course of action, when a soft rustle behind them made them pause. Ugosimba, who had been listening from a distance, stepped forward. Her voice, steady yet filled with a certain power, broke the tension in the air. "I can help," she said, her eyes meeting Okoye's. Okoye raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean, my love?" "I will speak to my father," Ugosimba explained. "He has the power to aid us in this battle." Okoye's heart skipped a beat. Ugosimba's father was no ordinary man. He was the most powerful mystic in Umuodum, a man whose knowledge and strength could bend the very forces of nature. But the idea of involving him in a conflict with the warriors of Igodo was a dangerous one. Still, Okoye trusted his wife and agreed to support her. He went to the king, who listened carefully to the plan. After a long pause, the king nodded, giving his approval. "If Ugosimba's father can help, then we will accept his aid," the king said, though his eyes remained wary. "But be careful, Okoye. We are walking a fine line." Ugosimba wasted no time. The next day she set off to speak with her father, carrying the hopes of Igodo village with her. When she arrived at the hidden temple deep in the forests of Umuodum, her father greeted her with a grave expression. "You have come for help," he said, his voice deep and full of wisdom. "But you must understand the cost. This power, this magic, is not without its price." "I understand, father," Ugosimba replied. "I ask for your help not for selfish gain, but to protect the land and people of Igodo. Please help them." Her father studied her for a long moment before nodding. "Very well. I will help. But remember, the lion is not easily tamed." With those words, Ugosimba's father called upon his ancient powers. His body shimmered, and within moments he was no longer the old man that Ugosimba had known. Before her stood a mighty lion, his golden mane flowing like fire in the wind. His eyes gleamed with a ferocious intelligence as he nodded toward his daughter. "I will do as you ask," the lion said, his voice a deep, rumbling growl. Ugosimba returned to Igodo with her father's blessing, and the villagers prepared for the battle that would soon come. As night fell, the warriors of Igbedu, confident in their strength, set up camp near the disputed boundary. They were unaware of the force that was about to descend upon them. In the dead of night, when the warriors slept soundly under the stars, Ugosimba's father, now the great lion, crept silently into their camp. With a single, powerful roar, he struck, his massive paws crushing tents and scattering the warriors in a flurry of panic. One by one, the lion struck, his jaws closing on his enemies with terrifying precision. By dawn, when the first rays of sunlight touched the earth, the warriors of Igbedu were no more. The land was silent. When the people of Igodo arrived to confront their enemies, they were stunned. There were no warriors to fight, no soldiers to face. All that remained was the eerie quiet of the camp, filled only with the aftermath of a battle already won. They rushed back to the king, their voices filled with awe and fear. "Your Majesty," they said, "the warriors of Igbedu are gone. They are all dead." The king's face broke into a smile. "Then it seems the gods have fought for us." Okoye and Ugosimba were summoned to the palace. When they arrived, the king greeted them with gratitude and respect. "You have done us a great service," he said, his voice filled with reverence. "Your father's power has saved us all." As a reward for their bravery and for reclaiming the land that had been threatened, the king made a grand gesture. He granted Ugosimba half of the disputed land as her own, a token of the immense value she had brought to the kingdom. From that day forward, Ugosimba was known as the Lion Bride, the woman whose courage and connection to the mystical forces of Umuodum had saved Igodo from certain destruction. The people of the land spoke her name with awe and admiration, and her story became legend, told from generation to generation as a reminder of the power of love, magic, and unyielding resolve. And so, Okoye and Ugosimba lived in peace, their union a symbol of the deep bond between their villages, a bond forged not only in love but in the strength of the lion that protected them all.